I had been babysitting for the Wattersons for a long time now, but never for a whole weekend. They wanted to travel to the south for the weekend and wanted me to watch over their kids. I agreed, for they were paying good and it was just for a couple of days. On Friday night, I went to their house, which was in a posh area and a little isolated from the rest of the town. It was a very elegant villa with long glass windows, which I was sure must have cost a fortune. Mrs. Watterson gave me their cell numbers as well as a landline number where I could contact them in case of emergencies. They left and I got settled in. After dinner, I got the kids to bed. George was 8 and his little sister Janet was 5. They were not very troubling and soon obeyed and went to sleep. Since it was still very early for me to go to bed, as I was more of a night owl, I grabbed a book from Mr. Watterson's library and started reading it on the couch. I was halfway through the first page when my cell phone rang. "Hello?" I said after picking it up. But there was only silence on the other end. I said hello a few times, but there was no answer, so I hung up. I began to read once again. After a few minutes, urgent knocking on the front door disturbed me. I looked at the clock. It was about 10. Who could it be at this hour? I wondered as I walked towards the door. I peeked through the door's peephole. There was nobody standing on the porch. That was really weird. So I opened the door and looked around. "Hello? Is someone there?" I called out. Still, there was no answer. I backed away and shut the door. I was beginning to feel really uneasy about all this. My phone began to ring once again. And I picked it up once more with an exasperated hello. Nobody replied to me. However, I heard ragged breathing on the other end, which was really creepy. I began to freak out as I asked, "Who are you? Stacy, is that you?" It's not funny. I thought it was her, my best friend, who loved to pull pranks on people. The breathing pace increased. I began to panic and hung up. I called Stacy and she answered in a voice heavy with sleep. "Quit acting. I know it was you," I accused her. "What are you talking about?" I told her and she denied calling me. "Just now, it was you who called, right?" "No, of course not." I told her what had happened and she denied calling me. As I was talking to her on the phone, I passed the CCTV monitor and stopped as I checked in on the kids. They were sound asleep. But suddenly, a swish of black swept past the screen, as if someone had just passed in front of the camera. Fear enveloped me as I realized that it couldn't have been the kids, which meant there was someone else in the house. I ran upstairs, calling 911 on my way, and barged inside the room. There was no one there besides the kids. I looked at the cupboard and neared it, gulping. I opened the doors to see that there was no one inside. I heard the wails of sirens as the police came. They searched the entire house, but saw no one there. The Wattersons rushed home as soon as they heard, and I was more than happy to go home. This had been the biggest scare of my life.